Ms. Sacco, congratulations on becoming a commissioner. I am also a founding member of Progressive Women of Northeastern Pennsylvania, and our goal was to elect women to political office. So that part of me is thrilled that you are sitting in that seat. On the other hand, I'm not thrilled that you didn't get there through the election of the people of this county. And I am further concerned that when you stated that you will stay longer than after the election, you have 2 weeks to be in that seat, 2+ weeks. And yet you comment that you're going to finish out McGloin's term? Ms. Sacco, are you telling us before we even vote next week that you will be an election denier? How does that stand? It doesn't. Please accept the fact that you are an interim appointee, and we, the people of this county, will vote next week for the person to take this seat. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the board?
Good morning. My name's Ann Kennedy. I'm here representing myself as Lackawanna taxpayer and in only that capacity. My concern is that I'm hearing that the two of these commissioners may be considering putting a pause on the reassessment. And I'm concerned about that for a lot of reasons. First of all, we were told in the very beginning that approximately 30% of our homeowners in Lackawanna County would probably, can expect an increase in the amount of taxes they'll be paying. We were also told that there will probably be another 30% who won't see much of a change, and an additional 30% who may actually get a tax break. So, when we found out about that, my initial response was, well, it looks like my taxes will be going up because that's the way my luck runs. But, it was a couple years away, so we decided, okay, just let it go. And then this spring, like everyone else, we received our new proposed tax assessment values. And we were shocked. Like everyone else, we were shocked because it was so much higher than our old values. So we thought, okay, so what do we do? Do we appeal it? But if we appeal it, what are we actually appealing? We don't know what our taxes are going to be for 2026. And not knowing would be like, well, what if we're in that 30% of people who won't see a change, or that 30% who might get a break? So we would be premature in appealing it. So we decided to stay the course and just see what happens. Now, my understanding is we are 4 days away from, the assessed values being certified. That will start a process whereby the millage will be determined. So in a few short weeks, we should be able to take the millage, multiply it by our assessed value, and at least have an idea of how much our taxes will be for 2026. I am asking you, by pausing this, or even considering pausing this, what will be the benefit? Will it change the amount of taxes I'll be paying in 2026? Absolutely not. It will be holding the people hostage to determining how to move forward. So for that, lucky 30% who might get a tax break, you're denying them that information. By, holding back that information, the 30% who may stay the same, you deny them that information to move on and relax and, say, okay, I don't have to worry about it right now. And for the 30% that, may see an increase, you're denying them too, because they have to know what they have to plan for. Will there be appeals? Absolutely. Will there be lawsuits, absolutely. But until we find out none of us knows what we have to pay. None of us. And if you delay that information, you're doing us all a disservice. So I know there's a lot going on here. I know that there's, all these issues, and I don't see it on the agenda, but I came down here today because I think it's important. Before you move forward, I think it's very important that you caution you about what you plan to do in the future. Now, Mr. Chermak and Mr. Gaughan, you inherited this problem. You have to deal with it. You've had to deal with it. I applaud you, Mr. Gaughan, for saying, okay, we don't have a choice. We may not like the timeline, but we have to live, and I understand a lot of people don't like the timeline, but we do have to live with it. So let's stay out of the way and let the process continue. And I applaud you for that. And I hope that you will not kick this down the road and delay it any longer, because we all have a right to know what we're going to have to pay next year. There's a lot of things out there that are happening with the economy, and this is just one thing that we should be able to plan. We should be able to know where to budget for next year. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the board? Yep.
Hi, my name is Kathy Kavanaugh, and I'm a lifetime resident of Lackawanna County. And please bear with me, I have nothing prepared to come up and talk. However, sitting there, I have to say that I'm actually here in support of keeping Commissioner Gaughan in the role that he's in. The reason is that I'm actually here for myself as a voter. Commissioner Chermak, he was voted into office. Commissioner Gaughan, he was voted into office. And I understand that the interim is Commissioner Sacco. However, I feel actually offended as a voter that anyone is going to try to make a decision to go against the voters' wishes, who put Mr. Chermak in and has Mr. Gaughan as the top voter. The majority of voters wanted him there. And I feel that nobody has the right to take away our democratic right to vote the people we want into office. And with an election so close, I can't help but think that the visuals of a few people sitting in a back room and making choices for me is abhorrent. So whatever the outcome of next week would be, that's what the voters want. And I don't believe anyone has the right to deny us voters our say. That's it.
Would anyone else like to address the board? Okay. Erica, motions?
Motion 25-2067, motion to appoint a chair of the Board of Commissioners.
Yeah, I did.
On the question? Do you have to make a motion about who you're going to appoint as chair?
We have to go through parliamentary procedures first.
Right, but it's on the question, and then you're going to vote on who the person is, so you have to make a motion to appoint a specific person, correct?
There has to first be a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay.
So, these are parliamentary procedures that we have to follow. So I'm going to make a motion that we now suspend the Roberts rules before we proceed.
Okay, on the question for suspending the rules? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No. The ayes have it, and the rules have been suspended.
Second, I make a motion to vacate the board chair.
And a motion and a second to vacate the board chair. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, I'm sorry, not aye. No. I don't want to vacate myself. The ayes have it, and the chair has been vacated.
Motion to appoint County Solicitor Attorney Walker as acting chair for purpose of reorganization.
Been a motion and a second on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. The motion passes.
Motion to appoint a chair of the Board of Commissioners.
I make a motion to appoint Commissioner Brenda Sacco as board chair.
Come on. Absolutely not. Tell him.
You're still the chair.
There's been a motion and a second on the question. Commissioner Sacco on the question? Or Commissioner Chermak?
He's chairman, right?
No, maybe. Okay. So there's been a motion and a second. We're on the question now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to comment on the question. But first, I thank everybody for coming out this morning. I'd like to congratulate the new Republican majority in Lackawanna County, Commissioner Chermak and Sacco, on their takeover of county government.
Woo!
And I do think that it's important for me to at least take a few minutes to speak frankly about what I believe is actually happening this morning and what it means for the people that we represent. The gears of county government are being shifted behind closed doors, not in the service of the public, but in the service of a factional, naked power grab. It is a desperate attempt by the time-worn, self-interested leadership of a small group of cronies to snatch back the governing power that the electorate emphatically transferred in the last election in 2023 to a new generation of leaders. Just a few weeks ago, as some of you pointed out in your comments, Commissioner Sacco testified in Lackawanna County Court that she would not present herself to the public to be considered for the special election because she would have to resign from her state job, which pays roughly $80,000 a year to do so, and the risk was just too great. Understandable. She did relinquish that job shortly thereafter, however, to accept an appointment, even though the very court order by which she was appointed states clearly that she may serve only until the voters choose a new commissioner in the next election. That election is 1 week from tomorrow. The question now is, at least in my mind, and I'm sure some of yours, what fresh scheme is in store to try to extend the length of the appointment for the entire 2+ years remaining in the term, rather than until the next election as mandated by the court? Having ignored the clear will of the voters as expressed in the 2023 election, what new attempted power grab will they devise to defy the voters of 2025? Think about this for a minute, folks. Why would somebody testify under oath that they didn't want to run for special election because they didn't want to give up their job with the state, then turn around, resign their job, and take an appointment that will only last another 3 to 4 weeks at most? Has there been a deal made somewhere that the public is not aware of? For someone who will technically only be in office for a very short period, why the rush to reorganize county government now, when the special election hasn't happened yet? What urgency justifies this procedural leap? So, Commissioner Sacco, with all due respect to you, I know that a lot of people have this question on their minds in Lackawanna County, and I certainly do. So I'm going to ask you directly. Are you going to recognize the results of this special election for commissioner and vacate your seat when the new commissioner has been elected, regardless of who it is? No comment. There you go, folks.
Wow. Wow.
Shame on you.
Let's restore order here. The other head-scratching move that the new majority, the new Republican majority, has made within a few days of being appointed, Commissioner Sacco, along with Commissioner Chermak, made some very, very big personnel moves. Their first order of business, was it to help a small business? Scour the county budget for additional savings? Get up to speed on all of the pressing issues in county government? No. It was to hire Commissioner Sacco's personal attorney, Paul Walker, as the county solicitor. This isn't a conflict of interest? Can we be sure that Mr. Walker, Attorney Walker, Brenda Sacco's personal attorney, will be able to represent all commissioners and the taxpayers of Lackawanna County? Remember, this is the same gentleman who stood before the election board at that very podium a few months ago and argued against having a special election and letting the people of Lackawanna County decide who their next commissioner should be. Something stinks.
Yeah, sure does.
Now, when I accepted the role of chairman of the Board of Commissioners last January, I did so at a time when the county was nearly bankrupt and faced serious structural problems. I inherited a $37 million deficit, $19 million in bills that had not been paid from the previous year. The entire operation of county government was floundering, and crucial public programs for our elderly and for the youngest in our community, the children and the families, were under threat of collapse. The county last year, if you can believe it, was actually going to run out of money before the end of the year. Mass layoffs and payless paydays were looming. The Office of Youth and Family Services had lost their state license and was about to go under. Recognizing the magnitude of the task, my administration made fiscal responsibility our primary mission. We froze unnecessary hiring and spending, brought in an independent financial expert to work with us to develop a 5-year financial plan. We cut 90 positions. We eliminated an entire department. We restructured healthcare, saving hundreds of thousands of dollars, among many other things. We insisted that the programs we value, especially those serving our most vulnerable, would not be collateral for mismanagement. Under my leadership as chairman, and because of the tough and difficult decisions that had to be made last year that unfortunately others were unwilling to make, we have the county finances stable for the first time in at least a decade. We stopped the free fall, and we can now plan forward instead of scrambling month to month. My administration has been lauded by state officials from the Department of Community and Economic Development for the financial and operational turnaround of county government. We went from the brink of insolvency, the brink of bankruptcy, to just recently presenting a balanced, no tax increase budget for 2026 with a surplus of over $500,000. Now, one of the things that has been near and dear to my heart has been the turnaround of the Office of Youth and Family Services, and that has gotten us statewide recognition. When my administration took over last year, the agency was in disarray. It lost its state license, had a massive case backlog, scores of vacant positions, and as a result, rock bottom morale. I took the time to go out and spend a day with one of our caseworkers to see what their job was like and the problems they and our families encountered. It was an eye-opening experience. And one of the greatest parts of this job is to see the kind of work that these people do day in and day out. And they stuck with it, and that's why today we can say that there has been a turnaround because of what they do. Today, the full state license has been restored. The case backlog has been slashed from well over 1,000 to under 100. Last year we had 13 caseworkers. This year we have well over 50. We launched the first of its kind in Pennsylvania Community Pathways Project to help vulnerable children and families get the help that they need to thrive before they become the subject of the child welfare system. I was determined, along with many other people in this building, to make sure that children and families in our county would not bear the cost of political dysfunction. In closing, my message to the residents of Lackawanna County is this: I will not step away quietly. I will not watch the good, hard work of our county staff and my administration get sidetracked by dirty political gains and political dysfunction, because that's quite honestly how we got here. You don't just inherit a $37 million deficit and $19 million in unpaid bills because everything was going smoothly. I'm going to continue to fight for accountability, for the proper role of your government being service, not patronage. My work continues. And let me be very clear. I will partner with anyone, regardless of party, who is willing to do the right thing for our citizens. But I will oppose anyone, regardless of title, who seeks to subvert the process and the public trust for private advantage. Thank you.
All right, roll call vote on the motion. Commissioner Chermak?
Yes.
Commissioner Gaughan?
No.
Commissioner Sacco? So the vote on the motion. The chair of the commission.
Oh. He's right here.
I'm abstaining because of the pay discrepancy for the chairman. There's a pay discrepancy for the chairperson.
I'll run the.
The motion fails. I'm going to call for a second motion to appoint the chair of the Board of Commissioners.
Make a motion to appoint Commissioner Brenda Sacco as chair.
Can you do it?
Excuse me, Don, you've been here for over a decade. Let me just say this. They just made a motion to appoint a chair of the Board of County Commissioners, correct? It was seconded, then they voted. Commissioner, did a roll call vote. Commissioner Chermak voted yes, I voted no, Commissioner Sacco abstained. Therefore, it dies. How can you bring that up? Apparently they didn't get their notes straight, because I've been running public meetings for over 10 years. I've never seen anything so dysfunctional in my entire life.
Tell him. Tell him.
Commissioners, okay. Under the rules, when Commissioner Sacco abstained because there's a discrepancy in the pay raise. Okay? Under the rules, if the first motion fails, you can bring the motion up on the second motion, and on the second motion, she's allowed to vote if she has disclosed the conflict.
Motion should have been with the pay raise included in it then. That's right. Not for the, he made a motion to appoint Commissioner Sacco.
You're in charge of the meeting.
That was the vote. It wasn't the pay raise, it was the vote for chairman.
We're watching.
Please do.
My motion stands.
Let's backtrack here for Speaking of the microphone, Attorney Rizal, let's get the dirty politics straight so at least you can get this over with. Come on.
Second motion, Commissioner Chermak.
Made the motion for what?
I made the motion to appoint Commissioner Brenda Sacco as chair.
I second that.
Now, Mr. Walker, this is where you call for a roll call vote. I know you've never done a public meeting before.
Other question. In a roll call vote.
Now you'll have to say the person's name.
Yes. Yes.
No.
All right, Commissioner Sacco is now the chair.
Boo!
Terrible. Motion 25-0268, motion to appoint a vice chair of the Board of Commissioners.
I make a motion to appoint Commissioner Chermak as Vice Chair of the Board of Commissioners. It's Joker.
I second that.
On the question? Commissioner Chermak?
No question.
Okay, now we'll take a vote. Commissioner Chermak?
Yes.
Commissioner Gaughan?
No.
Yes. And the motion passed.
Motion 25-0269, motion to follow Robert's Rules of Order for conducting the Board of Commissioners meetings.
I make a motion.
I second. On the question? On the vote? Commissioner Chermak?
Yes.
Commissioner Gaughan?
No.
Yes. Motion passes.
Motion 25-0270, motion to set the meeting days of the Board of Commissioners to be held on the first and third Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room unless otherwise specified.
Motion.
Second. On the question? On the vote? Commissioner Chermak?
Yes.
Commissioner Gaughan?
No.
Motion passes. Opportunity for the public to address the board.
That'll make a difference.
Michelle Chairman, I am then in a continue to do that and show us people what you really believe in us, but you yourself. I'm not sure for what, but this is an embarrassment for any of us elected officials who have put our time, energy, and sweat and honesty for the democracy of Lackawanna County. Thank you.
Bob Wallace, Scranton. First off, I'm going to set the record straight. The assessment is not going to happen. We filed a suit and sued the county assessor to prevent him from certifying the assessment. Tyler Industry is a damn joke that was brought in here. They've been sued in numerous counties. What they come up with is an absurdity, and we sued them to hold them accountable. It's something you did, Mr. Gaughan. You know, and that pissed me off more, and I hate using that language. When I saw you disrespect that flag, our flag, at a King's rally, where you stood there and said you were not a commissioner, you were an individual. A couple weeks later, you made the statement, once a commissioner, always a commissioner. I couldn't have been happier today to see basically the file to resign. we eliminated you anyway. That flag represents everybody. I don't care who wants to bitch or complain about what I gotta say.
Well, stop cussing at everybody.
I supported that flag. How many of you did? I did.
Everybody? Everybody?
You're a professional speed bump. I had the trailer there that said,
You want to talk about embarrassment? That's an embarrassment.
If you don't like it, it's too damn bad.
Yeah, too damn bad for you,
That's
Bob.
too damn bad. You'll get your 5 minutes.
Anytime, buddy.
The other part is, you pushed to have my taxes brought to the tax sale when the county sent to me for over 18